Croeso pawb to the Hidden Gems PSN sale. I found over £230 worth of discounts for you to check out, so watch the whole video to find a good deal, and then subscribe so you never miss a sale again. Okay, let's get on with it. This sale ends on the 20th of October, so that'll be your last day to pick up these deals. Okay, let's look at the games. First up is Anyone's Diary. It was released in 2019, so it's 2 years old, and it's on at least a 70% discount for the price of £2.69 or £1.79 with PS Plus, which is dirt cheap for a VR game. This is a VR adventure with PS Move controller support, where you guide someone through the pages of their diary. So if you like the idea of a VR adventure that's a bit different, it's really cheap, so you might want to pick this up. We have a puzzle game next, Archaica The Path of Light. It was released in 2020, so it's only a year old, and is on a 75% discount for the price of £3.74, which is pretty good. This is a puzzle game where you uncover an intriguing story unveiled by collecting hieroglyphs or completing harder levels in this light beam based puzzler, where you must master different items to manipulate the coloured light beams and solve the puzzles. I really like the look of this game. I'm tempted to pick it up myself because I love puzzle games, and this looks both complex and interesting. Definitely one for puzzle fans, so if that's you, take a look at this game. Our next game is Bastion. It was released in 2015, so 6 years old, and is on a 75% discount for the price of £2.99, which is really good. This is an action RPG where you control the kid, as he explores floating fantasy worlds, fighting enemies in a desperate attempt to collect the shards to power the Bastion in the wake of an apocalyptic calamity, while a dynamic narrator describes your adventure as you play. This game was critically acclaimed when it released, and for good reason. The gameplay is really great, and the narrator is unique and awesome. It's such a cool voice, and he literally describes you as you play. How they dynamically created that is beyond me, but it's really great, and it makes it a very different and unique experience to play. This is a very high quality game by a great studio, and is highly recommended. If you like action RPGs, you should definitely take a look at this. And if you've never played one before, then at this price, this is a great place to start, it really is. You might even find your new favourite genre. Definitely take a look at it. Next up we have Black Mirror. It was released in 2017, so it's 4 years old, and it's on at least a 75% discount for the price of £8.74, which isn't too bad. In this horror adventure is set in Scotland in 1926, where you play as David Gordon visiting his ancestral home for the first time. Tormented by nightmares and waking dreams, he fears he may follow in his family's footsteps, ending in madness and death. This is another game I'd never seen much of before, but looks really pretty decent. From what I've seen, people like it. And the gameplay looks really cool, getting to see ghosts and spirits that shed light on your past and your history of your family. And there's a deep investigation here to find out what's going on in your family, and are you cursed, or is there something deeper underneath that's causing everything. All in all, it's a pretty intriguing looking game, and if you like the sound of investigating ancient Scotland and uncovering a mystery, then you might just want to take a look at this, because it's pretty intriguing. Cartoon Network Battle Crashers is our next game. It was released in 2016, so it's 5 years old, and it's on a 75% discount for the price of £3.99, which is really good. This is a beat 'em up, where Uncle Grandpa has driven the UGRV through multiple dimensions, and now shard creatures start spawning everywhere causing havoc. And now it's up to a host of Cartoon Network characters banding together to set things right. And it even features 4-player local co-op, which is great for a beat 'em up, although it's a shame it doesn't have online co-op. This game is a pretty simple beat 'em up, but if you're a fan of Cartoon Network, and specifically the shows from this game, then you'll enjoy it a lot more. Or if you've got a kid, this game's great for that as well. And if you've never played a beat 'em up before, they're great, but there are better ones to start on, so take a look around instead. Celeste is our next game. It was released in 2018, so it's 3 years old, and is on a 75% discount for the price of £3.99, which is really decent. This is a platformer where you have to help Madeline survive her inner demons, as she climbs Mount Celeste in pixel-perfect jumping and platforming levels. It features brutally difficult levels to unlock, with over 700 screens of platforming, and a dazzling piano and synth soundtrack. This game looks pretty cool, and it kinda reminds me of Super Meat Boy, in that there's a lot of complicated jumping and navigation of different platforms and levels. And I kinda like the pixel art graphics as well. They look really cool. So if you're a big fan of challenging platformers, you should definitely take a look at this game. and if you've never played one before, it's cheap enough that you could consider it as well, so why not check it out. We'll go in retro next, Deep Ones. It was released in 2018, so it's 3 years old, and is on at least a 60% discount for the price of £1.99 or £1.49 with PS Plus, which is dirt cheap. This old school platformer is based on the ZX Spectrum games, so it's really retro and really unique and cool looking, as you get to play a diver whose submarine gets destroyed by the Great Red Octopus, and now you must explore the seafloor, fighting sea creatures and pirates to fix your submarine and escape. This is a good old-fashioned platformer with really retro graphics that I love. They look really cool. You just don't get to see games with this sort of art style anymore these days. Everything retro these days all looks the same. It's all 16 or 18-bit, and this is a real blast from the past that is really cool and unique. I love it. If you were around for the ZX Spectrum days, you should definitely take a look at this game, and if you've never experienced the ZX Spectrum, or you like the sound of this old retro game, then why not check it out? It looks really fun to me. Fragments of Him is our next game. It was released in 2017, so it's 4 years old, and it's on a 70% discount for the price of £2.39, which is good. This is an interactive story. After a young man dies, his family and his friends are left to pick up the pieces, and you get to explore his last thoughts and the moments in which he changed other people's lives around him. There's not a huge amount of gameplay in this, as it's an interactive story, but a lot of people like those games, and if you're one of them, you'll probably enjoy this game, especially if the price is on sale for. And if you've never played this sort of game before, then this game has really good reviews, so it might be a good place for you to start, but there are other options for you as well. So if you're not sure, then you can wait for another sale and pick up a different game instead. Our next game is Fury Definitive Edition. It was released in 2017, so it's 4 years old, and is on a 75% discount for the price of £4.49, which is really good, as this edition includes the additional DLC fight and a dynamic theme as well. So you're getting a lot of extra for a low price. This is a bullet hell boss battle game, where you've been jailed and the jailer is the key, so killing him is your only way to escape. Now you must fight your way to freedom in back-to-back epic bullet hell boss fights that will test your skill and focus. This game was free on PS Plus ages ago, and I've played half of it, and I really love it. It really tests your skill, and is really different and unique. But if you like skill-based games, and you like the idea of one-on-one, mano-a-mano, taking down a boss with skill only, you'll love this game, and it'll test your skill and patience to the max. If you think you can handle the challenge, why not take a look at it, and prove your worth to the gaming gods. We have a puzzle game next, Goro Goro. It was released in 2018, so it's 3 years old, and is on a 70% discount for the price of £3.59, which is really cheap. This puzzle game is very different and unique, and really difficult to describe, as it's a 2D puzzle game that bends perspective and reality in order to present the most unique puzzles you've ever seen. You really have to see a trailer to get an idea of what this game's puzzles are like, but all I can say to you is, they're very cool, they're very unique, they're very interesting, and as a puzzle fan myself, it's very interesting and intriguing to me. If you love puzzle games, definitely check this out, and if you've never played puzzle games before, then check it out because it's different and interesting, but you might want to start somewhere else for your first puzzle game, so check out some other puzzle games instead. Yotan Valhalla Edition is our next game. It was released in 2016, so it's 5 years old, and is on at least a 75% discount for the price of £2.99 or £1.79 with PS Plus. So that's really cheap if you've got a PS Plus account. In this 2D action adventure, you play as Thora, a Viking who died an inglorious death and now must prove herself to the gods by fighting the giant Yotan elementals in order to ascend to Valhalla. And it also features beautiful hand-drawn graphics, which really adds to the mysticism, as the graphics really help to bring alive the ancient legends of Norse mythology. This is a very cool little action adventure, and if you really like games with big boss battles, you'll really enjoy this game. But if you're not a fan of big boss battles, then maybe you should look at some other games instead. The next game is for PS Plus users only, LANFLX Odyssey. It was released in 2020, so it's only a year old, and it's on a 70% discount for the price of £3.47, which is pretty decent. This is an action platformer where you play as Larry, who is on a lazy TV binge fest when he uses the wrong batteries for his TV controller and gets zapped into the streaming service LANFLX, and now he must fight through the service's TV shows to recover the batteries and escape alive. This looks like a pretty decent retro action platformer, and the idea of ripping off Captain N, the game's master, worked out great because it gives it an excuse to have a load of varied levels based on different TV shows and franchises. So it gives them complete creative freedom to do what they want for each level, which is great. So if you really like retro action platformers, you should take a look at this, and if you've never played one before, you can get better deals elsewhere, so check out some other games instead. Mirror's Edge Catalyst is our next game. It was released in 2016, so it's 5 years old, and is on an 80% discount for the price of £3.59, which is really good. This is an action parkour game where you follow Faith, a daring freerunner, as she fights for freedom with her friends in the City of Glass. It features a parkour movement system, unique combat and disarming, and a huge open world futuristic city for you to run through. When the first game of this came out, it was a huge deal, but it kinda flopped as not a lot of people liked it, and it was pretty simplistic. But this sequel was way better, they improved on it a lot and they made a much better game, but by then people didn't care and it didn't sell very well. But hey, it's still a great game, and it's at a good price, so you might want to check it out. It's a very different and unique experience with the parkour free running system, and you wouldn't have played anything else like it, I guarantee it. Its uniqueness makes it well worth checking out. Our next game is Next Machina. It was released in 2017, so it's 4 years old, and it's on a 75% discount for the price of £3.99, which is really good. This twin-stick shooter is a good old-fashioned action-packed arcade game. It features over 100 challenging levels in 6 different intense worlds, with online leaderboards, secret levels, paths, and local co-op as well. So it's a really cool game if you're a fan of twin-stick shooters. Not many of these games have local co-op, which is great. It's just a shame it didn't have online co-op. But hey, with the leaderboards being around, and secret levels and things to unlock, this will keep you playing for a long time if you're a fan of this genre. And if you've never played one before, this is a modern one, and it's a good one, at a great price, so you should probably check it out if you're interested. We have some turn-based strategy next, Rebel Cops. It was released in 2019, so it's 2 years old, and it's on a 67% discount for the low price of £2.63, which is the cheapest I've ever seen it, and a really good price. In this game you lead a ragtag squad of cops in a rebellion against their town's new criminal power. With low supplies and cops dying in a single bullet, how long can you survive? It features stealth and scavenging, alongside the turn-based tactics, so that's a little bit different and a bit of extra. There's not a lot of turn-based strategy games around these days, and this one looks not only half decent, but it's really cheap as well, so it's worth taking a look at if you're looking for another turn-based strategy game. And if you've never played one before, why not take a chance on it? It's cheap, and it's pretty decent looking. You might just find your new favourite game genre. A very different game next, Speed Limit. It was released in 2021, so it's brand new, and it's on at least a 60% discount for the price of £3.19 or £2.39 with PS Plus, which is a great price. This game is a non-stop arcade experience with no cuts, no pausing, and just one wild ride of action and genres until you win or you die. It features run and gun platforming, driving, flying vehicles, and more. I really like the idea of this game, as there is no stop and start, end of level, beginning of level. You literally start and you transition between levels seamlessly on the fly. You're on a train shooting people, then you jump off onto a car and you're driving down the motorway. Then you jump out of the car onto a bike, and then you're in an underpass, and then you get on a plane and then you take off. It's a never-ending arcade experience until you finish the game or you die trying, which is a very different and unique idea. I really like it. It seems pretty cool to me, and I think it'll appeal to a lot of people. So if you're the sort of person that loves old school arcade games, and you're willing to die hundreds of times to see the end of this game, then you'll really have a lot of fun with this. But if you're not and you're easily frustrated, then I would definitely check out some other games instead. More strategy next, Steamworld Heist. It was released in 2016, so it's 5 years old, and it's on a 75% discount for the price of £2.99, which is really good. This is a tactical strategy game where you get to command a steam-driven pirate crew, boarding ships to shoot your way through the crew, grab the loot, and get out alive with your rewards. This game got great reviews when it came out, and I can see why. It's a really cool idea, and it looks like it's implemented really well, with the turn-based strategy working really well, and the shooting system especially. And on a side note, the DLC is also on sale for a 70% discount, £1.19, which is pretty good as well if you're interested. So if you always wanted to be sci-fi futuristic pirates boarding ships and grabbing loot, you'll love this game. And if you've never tried turn-based strategy before, then this is a good game at a cheap price, so it might be a good game to start on. A JRPG is next. Sword Art Online Lost Song. It was released in 2015, so it's 6 years old, and is on an 85% discount for the price of £6.74, which is the cheapest I've ever seen it, and a really great deal. In this action JRPG, you join Kirito as he explores Svartalfheim online for the first time. It features an original story filled with familiar faces and a new aerial battle system, with many customization features. So if you're a big fan of Sword Art Online, you'll probably really enjoy this game. And if you've got no idea what Sword Art Online is, then you'll probably want to play some other JRPGs instead, because you can get bigger deals on more AAA games as well. So take a look around in that case. More puzzle next. The Turing Test. It was released in 2017, so it's 4 years old, and is on at least a 60% discount for the price of £6.39 or £4.79 with PS Plus, which is the cheapest I've ever seen it and a really decent price. In this game you are Ava Turing, an engineer for the ISA sent to Europa to find the missing ground crew stationed there. But what you find instead is a set of puzzles left by the crew that only a human can solve, and now you must solve the puzzles and the mystery at the same time. Where did the crew go? Why did they leave puzzles only a human could solve? It's very intriguing, and I like that. This puzzle game has intrigued me ever since it came out, and I've been waiting for it to go on a decent discount to pick it up. It looks like a really good quality puzzle game with an interesting story to go along with it. So if you're a fan of puzzle games, why not check it out? And if you've never played a puzzle game before, then if you like the story of this one, you might want to take a look, but you can get better deals elsewhere, so you could take a look around instead. And the final game I have for you is my star buy, Transistor. It was released in 2014, so it's 7 years old, and is on a 75% discount for the price of £3.74, which is really great. This is an action RPG made by the same team as Bastion, where you play as Red, a famous singer from the city of Cloudbank, who has been attacked by the robotic force called Process, and during her escape she finds the weapon named Transistor, infused with the consciousness of the last man it killed, along with Red's own stolen voice. And now you're on the run, trying to fight back against the robotic forces without a voice, and the sword being the only thing that can talk for you. I completed this game ages ago, and I absolutely loved it. The art style is beautiful, it's unbelievably great to look at, and the voiceover is pure perfection. It's such an experience to play this game, it's great. Without playing it, it's hard to describe what it's like. It's just AAA quality, and that's the best way I can put it. If you like action RPGs, you should definitely check this out. It's a great game with an amazing aesthetic and an interesting story as well. And if you've never played one before, hey, it's my star buy. It's a great game at an awesome price, and it's worth checking out. You might just find your new favourite genre. And that's all the games I have for you for the Hidden Gems PSN sale. If you enjoyed this video and you want to keep saving money on games, then subscribe and you'll never miss a deal again. Anyway, what did you think of the games I picked? Did I pick good ones? Did I pick bad ones? And what about my star buy? Did something else deserve it better? Throw all of your complaints down in the comments and we can argue about it later. I hope you guys found some games that you're interested in, but more importantly I hope you guys saved a lot of money. I'll see you guys in the next sale. Hoil Vow.